Hey everybody, it's the Hey Poopy podcast. What that booty do from poop to pleasure to health, hosted by me, Dave.
And me, Ellen, two curious people removing the stigma from your stinker. And why are we doing this? Because we love laughing and learning about butts and helping them to be the best they can be. And on this week's episode, we're talking about my butt and my colonoscopy.
Yes. Ellen got her first colonoscopy. So we ran through the whole gamut of what that was like.
Time-stamped and everything.
Yes, copious notes. Copious notes. So you're going to hear fun little tidbits like this.
The dam is broken. And at 3:45, I ran right back in again. So it's 15 minutes later. And I also, at that point, put on an adult diaper. Because when I ran back to the toilet after the massive evacuation at 3:30, I almost shit my pants going back at 3:45.
Oh, wow.
And Jesus. I was like, I'm going to put on an adult diaper just because
why not? Yeah.
I don't want to have an accident in my own home. So, and then at 3:50, another Bristol 7. So it's 3:30, 3:45, 3:50. Bam, bam, bam. Like everything is just coming out of me.
Yeah, man.
At 4:30, I literally, from all that shitting, got so exhausted. I passed out for like an hour, or no, like 30 minutes on the couch.
Yeah. Not only is this an informational podcast episode, it's a personal one. Our co-host went through the trenches, came out the other side to tell you why you should get a colonoscopy.
Yes, if you're 45 and over, please speak to your doctor. It is cancer prevention, and you're going to even learn how I had a little brush with a tiny bit of cancer in this episode, but it's fixed now.
Yes.
Wow. You're curious, aren't you? Well, listen to the episode. And if you want to know more about Dave and I, go to heypoopypodcast.com for pictures of us, merch, Patreon, cartoons, and so much more.
Yes, so do that. And on to the shit show.
Hey Poopy, how you doing? Hey Poopy, how you doing?
I'm just, trying to find a place with like-minded people to talk about like-minded things about me, about poop and stuff.
Hey Poopy, how you doing? Hey Poopy, how you doing?
Oh man, what's this right here? Is this a podcast about poop?
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back.
Hey, everybody. It's the Hey Poopy podcast with
Dave
and Ellen. And this is episode 201.
Yes, 201.
But it'll always be number 2 to us, our favorite number. And this is a pretty epic episode with just the dynamic Poo-O, but it's talking about something insanely important.
Yes, Ellen got her colonoscopy today. Or yesterday, I should say.
No, today.
Well, today.
It was this morning.
Oh, it's this morning. Oh, my God. Jesus Christ. I'm sick. I'm a little out of it. I keep thinking it's a day, like, I don't think it's the actual day. It's like, I'm like 2 days ahead. But yes, sorry. Today. Which is pretty crazy.
Less than 24 hours ago.
Yeah.
So yes, today.
Today, this morning.
I am a 45-year-old who, because it's 45 and over, said it is about time for me to get my colonoscopy. And I wanted to dedicate the entire episode to it because not only are colonoscopies saving people, and everybody out there should talk to their doctor, especially if you're 45 and over, but it's like a milestone for me. Like,
Yeah, it's a big deal.
yeah.
I mean, if you've never had one before, too, it's like the process alone is worthy
Awful.
of the whole show. So
We're horrible. Yeah. Absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
But I will get into that in a minute. First, we're going to check in. So, Dave, how have you been pooping recently? Especially the fact that you've been a little sicky.
Yeah. Okay. This whole episode's a check-in, basically. I mean, ostensibly. Anyway, yes. No, I've been going to the bathroom fine. I had a sore throat. And I wasn't sure what was going on. A friend of mine we were hanging out with over the weekend, she's got strep. So I'm like, 'cause we were sharing a joint. So I'm thinking, oh my God, maybe it's from that. I don't know. But
you get tested for strep?
I didn't get tested for strep. I don't think at this point it's been like I'm actually feeling better. I didn't feel feverish. I mean, I had, aside from the sore throat, that's the only symptom I guess I had of a strep throat. But I still have my tonsils.
Strep is really bad.
Yeah. I still have my tonsils. So a lot of times if I do get any kind of sore throat, especially in the summer, it's 9 out of 10 that's from my tonsils, which is like insane. but it didn't have the normal, what do you call it? I didn't see the normal suspect stuff in the back of my throat that I normally see. So, I mean, at some point, I guess I will, but I actually feel a lot better today, which is good. I still feel a little tired, but nothing like crazy. No aches, no real like fever, just a sore throat and a little tired. So tomorrow, if I'm feeling like still shitty, maybe I'll go do that. But we'll see. My friend was like way sicker than she was like way sicker than I was. Like the way she was describing it, I was like, ugh.
No, thank you.
Yeah, actually, I've been going to the bathroom fine. Nothing. I went twice today, and yeah, even though I was sick, nothing like gross or just the usual shitting I've been doing. So we'll see how that goes. But obviously, the main
Still
event,
Bristol 5s?
Yeah, 5, a little bit of 6 mixed in there. But nothing. Again, pretty standard for me anyway. But the big ticket item today.
I have 2 things to check in with before we go into my full on colonoscopy.
Okay.
I was away in Paris 2 weeks ago, and there were 2 things that happened on my trip that I've been saving for Dave while we're recording. I thankfully had very nice bowel movements the entire time of my trip, because I always worry about I get more constipation than anything when I travel.
Yeah.
But it even got to the point where like the second day, I was like, I'm going to go explore, and I don't even want to drink coffee because God forbid I shit my pants, like exploring the city.
Oh, that'd be worse. The worst.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, I'm just not going to test fate. But there was a couple times that even my companion could tell you that I'd be like walking down the street. I'd be like, ugh. And she'd be like, do you need to use the bathroom? And I was like, probably. So I did a lot of pooping in places that like museums and stuff. And one of the, no. I mean,
compared to like, the other alternative. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't shit on the street or anything, but I pooped in the Museum of Hunting and Nature, which is like this really cool taxidermy museum. And the bathroom is like on the top floor, secluded from everything else. It was like a very lovely experience for museum poop. And then when we were at the Louvre, we decided I'm a 1 coffee a day drinker normally, but because we were doing so much and packing so much into these days, that I was drinking 2 to 3 cups of coffee a day. Wow. So that's always testing fate with my bowels. And so we got to the Louvre and we're like, let's get a coffee. And of course, it's kind of like, I hate tourist bullshit, but of course, the only cafe in the Louvre was a Starbucks. I'm like, come on, France, you can do better than this.
Definitely do better than that.
Right? So, but we were like, well, if it's a Starbucks, maybe we could get an iced coffee, because most places in France, they don't believe in iced coffee. Like, it's just not a thing, or cold brew. So we ordered an iced coffee because I'm like, it's Starbucks. They probably know how to make it. Penny was standing on the other side of the counter from me, and I'm standing where you pick it up. And she said I made this look on my face like of pure disgust because I watched them make the iced coffee, and they filled up 2 cups of cups of water and just dumped an espresso. So it was just extremely watered down espresso. It was so gross. But this watered down gross coffee made me have to shit like immediately. And I had to run to the bathroom in the Louvre. There was such a line that I was almost like going to be like, oh my God, to the women in front of me, like, please, can I cut? I'm going to shit my pants.
Yeah. Oh, they let you cut through? That's nice.
No, they didn't, because I didn't ask them, but I was about to, because I was so desperate. And so then finally I got into the bathroom, and it was one of those poos where I could not stop going. Like I couldn't, and thank God I had my cleanse on me. I finally stopped, and I had to sit back down and do more. I was in there for like 15 minutes, like just evacuating.
Yeah.
So even though the coffee was terrible, it did its job. And even Penny was like, are you okay in there?
Yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah. And I had to apologize, and I was like, I couldn't stop. And that's one of my stories, my epic story from France that I've been holding on to for Dave, is the first day we went to Sacré-Cœur, which is on a mountain, kind of like a hill. And so we got off at the metro, and there were these like wraparound steps to get out of the metro, because it's like up a hill. And as we're walking up the steps, in the metro's their subway, I was like, what the fuck is that smell? And there was human shit, a pile of it all over the steps. So here in New York is not the only place where we get to see human shit in the subway.
Oh yeah, there's a guy that made this video really hilarious about how people got to get over Paris as being this beautiful place, and like he was showing like all this. I mean, Paris is awesome, but it definitely smells. It's like piss city,
And there's dog shit everywhere.
Everywhere, it's like covered in. It's just it's trash. So
yeah.
I mean, it happens to be beautiful, but also is covered in shit as well. So
well, the architecture is beautiful and the landscaping is beautiful, but the shit and piss is insane.
Yeah.
And
that's universal.
There was like some public toilets that were kind of like those self-cleaning ones. I didn't use any of them, but there was one that was like one level up from a porta potty that I saw, and they had men's and women's, and I opened up the women's door just to see what it was. And it was hilarious because on the outside, it basically said just for peeing. And over the toilet, there was like a red grate. So you couldn't shit.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. So I'm sure everybody's just fucking going in there like crazy anyway. But that's nuts.
I mean, when you gotta go, you gotta go. Yeah. I should have taken a picture of it, but I was so grossed out. But I was like, I gotta see this.
Yeah. You gotta see. I didn't see too many. I mean, not that they weren't there. I didn't see too many of those when I was there. But that's weird. A grating, because someone's like, we got to put something on here because everybody's going to keep shitting in here. Which I'm sure is why they put that there, but
Yeah, but like the self-cleaning ones, at least you can shit in, and then you know that they're clean. They're not completely disgusting.
Yeah. That's funny though. Great. Oh, I'm surprised.
Yeah, it was so weird.
I'm surprised there wasn't shit on it, to be honest with you. Like just mashed in there into the grate.
It smelled
so gross.
Pure evil.
Oh, yeah.
Like
I can't even imagine.
evil.
Oh.
Ugh.
They probably don't.
But that shit on the subway, it looked like somebody hadn't pooed in a week, and they finally let it go right there. It was massive. It was like an elephant's shit. Wow. It was huge, and you could smell it and you had no choice because you're like halfway through the steps. You had to walk past it. Keep going. And and it looked fresh. It wasn't there for a while. Oh, it was disgusting.
Yeah, seeing human shit is just like not a good way to start your day or
but
your day.
But whatever. I also was like grossed out, but also laughed. I was like, of course, me, the woman with a shit podcast, is gonna see human shit in the subway. Apropos.
That's crazy. I mean, that's not
in an insanely touristy area.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say it's crazy. It's not that crazy. I'm surprised you didn't see more of it. To be honest with me.
Yeah, right.
Like Jesus Christ.
But otherwise, the facilities were really nice. Like, I also went pee, not poo, but just pee on the top of the Eiffel Tower. And
cool.
The bathrooms were beautiful up there.
Oh, I'm sure. That's probably like really nice facilities.
Yeah, they took real good care of that stuff. Yeah. And there was no line. And I was like, I might as well go while I'm here. And I was like, well, that was easy. Not like as beautiful as the Bryant Park bathroom.
Yeah, but nice for like a public attraction, sure.
Yes, exactly.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
I mean, you got to pay a pretty penny to get up there. So they're trying to take good care of it, you know?
At the very least, they could just have a bathroom that's clean or cleanish, whatever.
Exactly.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for bringing those to the show.
Yeah.
And
transatlantic shittery.
Yeah. And now we have to get to our main event here.
The main event.
Ding, 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 ding. My iPad died, so I can't use it.
Oh.
I think I have to get a new iPad at some point.
It died.
Yeah, I think it died.
Not just the battery ran out.
No, it's like I'm gonna try something else maybe to make it work, but currently it is not working.
Oh,
I mean, it's so old. I'm shocked that it lasted this long, to be honest with you. So we'll see. We'll see. Fingers crossed.
I pray for the iPad.
Thank you.
So I'm going to start off my colonoscopy with saying thank you, Happy Colon Foods, who have been on the show. When we heard about this product, I forget what episode it was, but when we heard about it, Dave was a little jealous because he just had done his colonoscopy. And I was like, mine's coming up. I'm going to be calling you all. I've never done it the other way, but I got the prep just in case from my doctor, and the other way looked absolutely horrific. It was this massive jug that I was supposed to drink within 30 minutes. And I was like, I would have thrown up trying to drink all of that.
Yeah, that stuff is really gross. The flavors are like, they've kind of made them better, but it's disgusting. Oh, that was episode 193. If anybody wants to revisit
Thank
that.
you for checking.
193.
But so I emailed our friend Jeff, Dr. Jeff at Happy Colon Foods. And I was like, hey, I would really like to get your product for my colonoscopy. And he was like, oh, you have to get your doctor's approval. And I asked my doctor and the doctor said no. And I got into a fight with my doctor's nurse being like, no, fuck you. I want to do what I want to do. It's my body, my choice. I didn't say fuck to him, but I did get really upset. And then I emailed Dr. Jeff and I was like, hey, they won't let me do this. And he's like, oh, forget it. I'm sending it to you. Like, forget it. I'm not
Cool.
So he sent it to me, the box, which comes in very lovely packaging with every single thing that you need in it. The cherry, the chef's kiss, mwah, on top is it comes with an ointment for your hiney hole for all the explosions, which that ointment was a godsend.
Wow.
It made my butt feel so much better after every explosion. So thank you, Happy Colon Foods. It was very, very easy. I did call them a couple times because I was like, I'm feeling so bloated and nothing's coming out of me. But they were just absolutely lovely. So anybody out there who's getting their colonoscopy, check out Happy Colon Foods. Highly recommend
That's
it.
cool. They gave you the ointment though.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh my God. And it has like a cooling. It's kind of pasty. It's not like a Vaseline. And once you put it on, it feels like a peppermint cooling, but not sharp.
Yeah.
But like, it just like cools down. Yeah. And then it made all the pain go away because my hiney was so raw. So raw.
What a wiping.
Yeah. And a lot of just bile coming out of my ass. Yeah.
All day.
Ugh. Absolutely awful. So I started on Tuesday because Happy Colon Foods in the instructions says to eat a lot of stuff that was easier to pass. So on Tuesday, I had basically white foods all day. I had Joanna Angel's anal pasta and so I wanted to make sure that I was like prepared for everything. I also stopped some of my supplements 2 days before. I, of course, didn't drink alcohol or have cannabis days before. So I was preparing.
Yeah,
Yesterday,
I didn't do any of that. I mean, I think I maybe stopped taking vitamins, but I think did I have a drink the night before? I can't remember. I think I did.
The last drink I had was Saturday? No, I lied. Monday.
Oh, okay, that's not too bad.
Monday I had a drink. So then Tuesday, nothing. Wednesday, nothing.
Right.
So the first thing I did yesterday morning was weighed myself.
Okay.
And I weighed in at 158 before all the elimination.
Okay.
And then I weighed myself after. Guess how much weight I lost when I weighed myself first thing this morning before the colonoscopy.
I'm going to go with 153.
Close. 154. I lost 4 pounds.
Oh, shit. Okay. Wow.
In one day.
Yeah. Although what?
Impressive,
I mean, you just got
right?
rid of so much fucking water. It's like water weight dripping out of you.
Exactly. I had nothing in me.
God. Yeah.
Empty. 4 whole pounds. And I told the doctor
Christ.
that and they were like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Which is so gross that we're carrying around 4 pounds of water and shit in us every day.
Yeah. I mean, right? But it's crazy. Like, especially when you're doing that, the amount of shitting you're doing on the toilet after taking that stuff is like, it's bonkers.
Awful. So at 8:30 a.m., I ate the oatmeal and had the laxatives that Happy Colon Foods suggested. The laxative was this powder that you mix into 20 ounces of water with like a senna pill, which is another laxative pill. So I had the food first, then I had the laxatives. At 9:05, I made and I also had a black tea, but just like an Earl Grey tea, no coffee. At 9:05, I made a tiny Bristol 3 poop.
Okay.
And I was like, I feel like this is it's almost like the quietness before the storm kind of thing. At 10 o'clock, I had the snack, which is like a cookie, more laxatives and a little bit of Jell-O.
Okay.
At 12 o'clock, I had the macaroni and cheese with more laxatives, the same 20 ounces with a Senapil. And by 3 o'clock, I had the chips, the laxatives, and and a little bit of green lime jello. So mind you, all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things of laxatives and no poo, besides that one little Bristol 3. I felt and looked pregnant. I was so bloated.
Yeah.
I was so uncomfortable. I was like, what when is the dam going to break? This is awful. And I even called Happy Colon Foods at that point, and I was like, what's happening? And they were like, unless you should poop at the latest by 5 p.m. If you don't poop by 5 p.m., then call us. Okay. And I was like, okay. And exactly 3:30, I pooped, and it was full on, filled up the toilet bowl, Bristol 7.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Everything finally, the dam broke, evacuation city.
I will say, like, since your experience with the Happy Colon Foods, it definitely seems like their process takes longer, because when I drank those 2 16-ounce things, they had me do it at night for some odd reason. I don't know why, but anyway, when I took mine, it was like maybe after the first one, 15 minutes. Oof. And then I was like, I gotta go. You go for a little bit. And then the second one, though, that's when it was like, it was like nonstop from there. And from then on, I drank
turned on a faucet.
Yeah. So it's just interesting to see like how long it took. Cause I guess you're eating with the meals and everything. So you probably it takes a little bit longer maybe to work. My thing was not immediate, but it was like, it's just you're on the toilet. Like, like once it starts, you're like, oh, I can't really get off this fucking thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Crazy.
And at 3:30, it was just like piles. And I think I flushed twice. It was so much. And I was like, okay, good. The dam is broken. It seems like things are working. And then at 3:45, I ran right back in again. So it's 15 minutes later. And I also at that point put on an adult diaper, because when I ran back to the toilet after the massive evacuation at 3:30, I almost shit my pants going back at 3:45.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, I'm going to put on an adult diaper just because
why not? Yeah.
I don't want to have an accident in my own home. And I was like kind of even putting off showering for the day, because I was like, I kind of want to shower later. Yeah. I want to shower later in the day after all this mess. I want to shower. So I'm like kind of somewhat fresh in the morning. I have to wake up so early and I have no time to shower before my colonoscopy. So, and then at 3:50, another Bristol 7. So it's 3:30, 3:45, 3:50, bam, bam, bam. Like everything is just coming out of me.
Yeah, man.
At 4:30, I literally, from all that shitting, got so exhausted. I passed out for like an hour, or no, like 30 minutes on the couch. Yeah. I could not keep my body was like, and you're officially sick, go take a nap. At 5 p.m., I set an alarm because I had to take the easy to go magnesium citrate which is also another kind of laxative. And that one, has specific instructions where you have to like pour the water in and let it sit for 10 minutes and then stir it up. Okay. And they like strongly suggest you put in one of the like electrolyte packets with it, because they're like, this tastes horrible. And they also say, because when I had to do the 20 ounces of the other laxative, the only 20 ounce cup I have is plastic. But for the easy to go, on both instructions, it says, do not use a plastic cup. You have to use a glass. Okay. So I don't know what's in that, but it was awful. At 6:30, I did the broth with another laxative. And at 6:37, so this is an hour and a half, a little bit plus, after the easy to go, which is not easy to go. It's just a big explosion. I had butt pee-pee coming out of my ass. And that butt pee-pee continued from 6:37 to 6:48 to 7:05. And right after that butt pee-pee, I had a little bit of vanilla ice cream because I was so exhausted. I was like, I think I need something to pep me up a little. Yeah. So the vanilla ice cream just helped, like with that little bit of sugar, for me to feel halfway normal. So then 6:48, 7:05, then an hour later at 8:05, more butt pee-pee. And when I call it butt pee-pee, this is Bristol 7 times. Like it's just literally, it sounds like I'm peeing in the toilet, but water.
Oh yeah, that's exactly, that's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like yellow.
Yeah.
It looks like you're pissing on your ass.
Yes. And because I was eating
Feels like
lime jello, all my poo was kind of like this weird greenish tint to it.
Yeah, I mean, oh my God, yeah. It is interesting though, because like my experience was just like similar, but like I had all of the solid foods at the beginning of the day. Because at a certain point, you had to stop eating like whatever, and then you start taking that shit at night, and then it's just on from there.
Yeah.
Like, so would you
I don't know if eating the ice cream at 7 was a good idea or not, but I was so hungry and miserable, and I was like, I need something to make me feel better.
Yeah.
So
yeah, when you got to the butt pee part, that was me from the start. Like that's how it started. It went from a couple chunks and stuff like that, and then it just went like literally the second shit was all liquid until 1 a.m.
yeah, that's how I was. So then butt pee, and then at 8 o'clock I had to have more laxatives with more bone broth. And then at 8:20 I had a little bit of Jello because I was like so fucking hungry and miserable. And then ready? Butt pee at 9, 9:10, 9:25, 9:35, 9:45, and then 11:30. And I put during this period of time, my butthole hurts.
Oh yeah, I mean, geez, a lot of activity going on. How could it
My
not hurt?
butthole was so painful. That was like it. I was like trying barely to wipe. I mean, there was nothing really to wipe.
Yeah, but
I'm
still.
like doing the bidet to cool it off and patting so lightly and rubbing the creams on. And I was like, oh my God, I'm in so much pain. Like it literally felt like I had the worst sunburn on my asshole. And I was like, oh, it's happening.
People listening to this right now, this does sound like it sucks, but it's still you have to do this. Like,
What?
you
Yeah,
have to
I
get through the
texted a
pain.
friend of mine and she was like, that sounds horrible. And I'm like, yeah, but it's better than cancer.
Yeah, I'll take that any day of the week than cancer.
One full day of full fucking torture over cancer any day of the week.
Yeah, this is like a walk in the park compared to cancer.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I do not want cancer. That's why I'm doing this. Colonoscopies are good. There's science behind it. The early detection works.
just
people.
do it. Just stop being a little baby. It's whatever. It sucks a little bit, but in the end, it's going to pay off, and you don't have to worry about anything. So just do it.
I mean, the pros and cons.
Yeah.
Pro being cancer free. Con, your butthole hurts for a couple hours. Like.
If they do find something, at least they find it. They can probably, it's easily treatable, most likely. So you're all good. Just suck it up and do it.
Yes. So I had butt pee till 11:30. And then finally I was like, I should just go to sleep. I wasn't eating anything during this period of time. I was barely functioning, but I kept an adult diaper on the entire time. I texted Dave at one point that I sneezed.
Yeah.
I thought that I sharted.
Oh my God.
And I was so surprised there was nothing in the diaper. And only thing I can think of is maybe it felt like a shart because of the ointment. But I was like, oh,
I mean, at that point, it would have been this like a fucking liquid explosion anyway.
In a diaper.
It would have sucked, but it wouldn't have been like the worst.
But at least a diaper, God bless adult diaper for situations like this. I'd rather wear one and be safe than not wear one at all. So then I had to set an alarm because I even called Happy Colon Foods again. And I was like, I feel like it's just water coming out of me. Shouldn't there be more coming out, especially with the macaroni and cheese? Because, I mean, Dave, you may have saw the video, but long story short, I had cops in my building yesterday. And when I was making the macaroni and cheese, the cops were here again. And I had to eat it so quickly that I basically was just swallowing whole noodles. And I was like, I'm going to be shitting out whole macaroni and cheese noodles. I know.
Just chunks.
No, but just like the instant macaroni and cheese.
Just the actual undigested, just the noodles. It's like
so
one tube.
I called Happy Colon Foods and they were like, don't forget your last round of laxatives exactly 6 hours before your procedure. And I was like, yeah, I get that. But and I didn't eat the last cookie that was in the thing.
I was going to ask you about
just
that if you eat the cookie.
I ate the first cookie. There's 2 cookies. The last one, I was just feeling so nauseous that I was like, I'm so don't want this cookie. That's the only thing I didn't do in Happy Colon Foods.
Right.
But it's not, that doesn't seem like an important step. The cookie.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It's not, that wasn't part of the laxatives.
The more important part of the process.
Yeah. So then at 1 o'clock, I sent an alarm to wake up and chug more laxatives. And this was the worst part of the entire, this is like all the other stuff sounds horrible. This I woke up, my stomach was making noises like it was like gurgling because I think it was just empty and gas was trying to pass through. But then I felt nauseous and I'm trying to chug more laxatives and I'm trying to shit out butt pee and I'm just like, and there was just farts flying out of me. And I was like, I feel like this last time I felt like this was food poisoning. Like I felt like I had full on food poisoning. I was just disgusting. And so that happened at 1 and I got up, drank more of the laxatives and went right back to the toilet at 1:10 with sharp pains, just absolutely awful. And then on the toilet, I was finishing the laxatives as I was like, just piss was coming out of my ass at like 1:18. So within 20 minutes, I'm chugging laxatives, pee is coming out of my ass, and I just feel miserable. I'm like, I think I'm going to die.
Yeah, that sucks. See that part right there, that last part, that's what it's like when you do the regular process, like the non-happy food stuff. That's what it's like in the beginning. You chug this stuff and then you feel like shit. It tastes awful. It's so hard to get down. And then you just wait for a minute. But it's like industrial. It works so fast. But then it's just like, so that was me, like, I mean, without eating all that stuff, it was just like literally for hours and hours and hours and hours.
It's like food poisoning.
Yeah, it won't fucking stop. I didn't get the cramping like you got.
Oh,
but,
it felt like knives.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, I was barely eating. I think the last thing I had was like a piece of toast and eggs at like 8 o'clock in the morning, and that was it.
And I go through maybe 1 roll of toilet paper in 3 days. I went through a roll and a half of toilet paper yesterday.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a lot. I was thank God that a fucking bidet, because that's another thing. Like at least I had that, because like you're in there so much. You're like, at one point I'm like, what's the point of even wiping? Like I might as well just sit here and like wait, because I'm gonna be back here in a minute.
Yeah. All I could think of was Avery Jane's butt plug that is like a hole. I was like, I just wish I could keep my hole open so stuff could just fall out.
Yeah, that'd be way easier.
Right?
Way easier.
It's like, leave my poor hiney hole alone. Just like evacuate.
For the next one's jamming in there. That way it just comes out. It's just like... It's like one of like when you see like they open up a dam at the bottom, like all the sludge and everything comes flying out the back.
Yes.
Yeah. Like that.
Oh, it was so bad. So I went back to sleep with my adult diaper on, just in case because I was like, I cannot shit the bed.
Yeah.
Woke up at 5:30 this morning, and Happy Colon Foods was like, you should really try to poo before you leave the house and poo when you get to right before your procedure. So like I got a taxi because it was so early in the morning. I was like, I physically can't function. I just need to get in a car and have them drop me off at the doctor's office. And when I'm trying to like poo, but only pee's coming out of me, just regular pee, not butt pee. But I'm like, something's got to come out. I had all those laxatives at 1 a.m. and I could just feel my stomach gurgling. And I was like, I hope I don't shit my diaper on the way in a cab. Like I could just hear the cab driver like being like, well, you're now banned from Lyft for the rest of your life.
Oh, hell yeah. No, rightfully so. I imagine. He's like, look, I'm sorry to go into that, but you shit in my car.
And I like threw in a bag full of like a sweatshirt, a clean pair of underwear, an extra diaper.
Extra diaper? Oh my God.
Just in case. And so I get to the doctor's office. I do all this stuff. They're asking me all the questions. And the nurse is like, okay, now get changed. And I said, I have an adult diaper on. Do you mind if I just throw it in the garbage right here? And she's like, that's smart. Yeah, it's okay.
Nice.
But I was just like, how do I explain this?
I mean, they must see it a lot. I mean, it's like a backup plan.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus.
So I even like, she was like, you have to pee in a cup because you have to make sure you're not pregnant. I was like, trust me, I'm not pregnant.
You're like, one thing I do know is I'm definitely not pregnant.
I'm not pregnant.
100% sure I'm not pregnant.
I feel and look it from the bloat of all these laxatives, but I swear to God, I'm not fucking pregnant.
That's so funny.
And the funniest question that they asked me on the phone last week and this morning is like, sorry, but we have to ask, are you going through any domestic abuse?
Oh yeah, shit. I've heard that. Like, who the fuck said that to me? Oh my God, yes, that's crazy.
Yeah, I guess they now have to ask that to all women.
Yeah.
And I said to the woman, I was like, unless my 3 cats that I live with are doing something to me, no.
Yeah.
And they giggled.
Jesus, I definitely did not get asked that question.
Yeah. The things that they ask women, are you pregnant? When was your last period? Piss in this cup. Is somebody beating you?
Yeah, didn't have any of those. I would have answered them.
Yeah, you're like, you have no idea what my wife does to me.
Yeah, I'm like, how come I didn't get that question? You don't know what's going on at home. Not making light of domestic abuse, by the way. Please do not.
No, of course not. It's just funny coming from like, when I have to be like, yeah, no, I'm a single woman who lives with 3 cats. And even the woman on the phone last week was like, well, you never know what those cats are doing. I was like, I do know what they're doing. They're sleeping all day. They're the laziest animals in the world. So I peed in the cup, and it was so funny because I'm like sitting there trying to squeeze out pee, but I'm so dehydrated with the pounding headache. Like it felt like I had a sunburn inside my skull in the front of my face. I was just like, oh my God. And it was like hard to even answer some questions because I was like, I'm so tired. I'm so hungry. I'm so dehydrated. I'm miserable right now. And I have to repeat the same things over and over. What's your name? When's your birthday? What procedure are you getting? And it's like, I get why they're doing it, but it's like, I'm literally functioning on fumes right now. So I'm sitting there like holding the cup up to my urethra as a little more butt pee-pee is coming out the back end. And all I can think of is how many people shit in these cups to test if you're pregnant.
It's like, you have fecal matter in this.
Not only are you not pregnant, but there's shit in here.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit. What's going on?
But very little came out for how much laxatives I pounded at 1 a.m.
Yeah, that's like, interesting to me that they give it to you like that late, that you had to take it that late. But I guess that's the system.
Yeah, that's Happy Colon Foods' way of doing it.
Which I'm sure is way better. It's probably, I mean, that part does sound gross, but it's like probably way less stressful in your system than the way I did it, which was just fucking like a little punch in the gut.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Which I feel like I had the majority of it at 1 a.m. while I'm chugging the last bit of laxatives, which makes me be like, what was the last bit of laxatives for? Right. But I even called Happy Colon Foods to be like, hey, I chugged all those laxatives 5 hours ago and nothing's coming out of me. Should I be concerned? And they're like, don't worry. They're going to irrigate you right before, when you pass out, they irrigate you first and then shove the camera up there. And I was like, oh, that's good to know. Like you get a little colonic.
Yeah. They're doing a little spray in there. It's like, get things going.
Exactly. So the doctor was very nice and knew our friend, Dr. Cameron Fong. And he was like, oh, how is she doing? So we chit-chatted about that. The anesthesiologist was also lovely. And when they rolled me into the room, there was this humongous like TV screen where I'm assuming they watched my colon while they're putting the camera on it. And the picture on the screen literally looked like a picture of somebody's butthole with like pubic hair off the side. And I'm like half asleep and like out of it. And I turned to the anesthesiologist and I go, what's that a picture of? Somebody else's butthole? And he started laughing. He goes, oh my God, nobody's ever said that, but it totally looks like it. And he's like, no, that's just gauze.
That's so
like,
funny.
it was black and white, and I was like, "What is?" But it was like so huge for what it was. It was like magnified. I was like, "What's that?" And he was laughing with me, and then he's like, "Okay, you're gonna go to sleep," and he's like, "It's propofol," and I was like, "Yeah, I know the Michael Jackson drug," and he goes, "No, but I'm gonna be there the whole time." And with Michael Jackson, the guy left the room. I was like, "Oh yeah, that's
if you're Michael Jackson."
Yeah, it's like, thank you. So I woke up was of course very groggy, and the first thing I said to the nurse was like, can I please use the bathroom? I feel like I have to shit. And they were like, you don't, it's just all the air that's inside of you, which surprisingly I didn't fart all the air out. So I really am curious to where it goes, but I literally woke up feeling like, oh my God, I'm going to have to shit.
Yeah.
And the doctor came in and he was like showing me the pictures and everything. And he was like, hey, so we found one polyps.
Oh,
it was
shit.
really small. And it was in the first third of your colon. So, because I even told him how Dr. Fong did the Flex Sig to me about 2 years ago. And he's like, oh, that's where majority of the cancer is. So that's good that you've had that done. But my polyps was so the first third is the part where your small intestines meet into your colon. So could only be detected with a colonoscopy. So he said they found, it was really tiny. He showed me a picture. It kind of almost looked like a tiny little white head pimple. And he said, we just tweezered it right off. Pop. Nice. And he's like, and you're good. And he was like, but because of that, you should come back in 5 to 7 years. And I was like, okay, good to know. But like thinking about like how we said colonoscopy versus cancer, like if I waited till I was 50, what would have happened with that little polyp?
Yeah, it could have been a big polyp, could have turned into something else. Who knows?
Yeah. So God bless that it's 45 and under. I mean, 45 and over now. So I'm glad, like, hey, I something good. I mean, like if I had no polyps, I'd be happy too. But to have that detection made me feel so happy that I went through all that torture.
Found something, got rid of it. Easy peasy.
Yeah.
I was shocked I had nothing in my ass. I mean, I was actually, he's like, I'm like, man, because even, I mean, I don't know about you, but for me, the night before, I'm like, this is pretty standard, but I don't know what the fuck they're going to find up there. You never know.
If this is the colon, I know this is a podcast, so it's hard to show, but it was like right here.
It says right in the beginning.
Yeah.
Alan's got a little drawing of it. If you can imagine like a small intestine going into your colon, that's where it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's good they found it. I mean, that's what it's there for. So.
And I overheard the other guy next to me. The doctor went in right after me to him. I guess his procedure was right after mine. And he goes, we found 6 polyps. And and the guy was like, wow. And he's like, yeah, it was a lot.
That's a lot.
And he was like, we found 6. It was a lot. You need to come back in 3 years. A lot of this has to do with diet. You might have to really look into changing your diet. And I don't know how old that person was, but I was like, whoa, thank God. I mean, that's scary, but God bless 6.
Jesus.
And he didn't say tiny polyps like mine. He was like, we found one little one in you.
Yeah. So these are probably like pretty decent sizes.
Yeah. And the doctor even warned me over, like in the beginning, he was like, there's the different kinds of ones. We can tweezer them off. We can cauterize them. And he goes, sometimes they're really, really big though. And we try to get rid of it. But if we don't do it correctly, there can be a lot of internal bleeding. And I was like, oh God, I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, no bueno. Jesus.
But like
bleeding.
The guy next to me with his 6 polyps, if he didn't have a colonoscopy, like he could be dying of cancer a couple years later.
It sounds like his diet's really fucked up. He's got 6 polyps.
Welcome to America. Everybody's diet's so fucked up here.
It's shocking when I got mine, they were like, yeah, you're good, you're clean as a whistle. I'm like, what? Like, just think like, I don't know, at a certain point, at a certain age, you're like, okay, well, there's gotta be something going on down there, up there. But that's good though. At least if they got it, they tweeze it out. See, if you're listening at home, this is why you get a colonoscopy. It's a pain in the ass, yes, pun intended, but it's definitely like you have to do it. I mean, it's just basically it's like anything else. You take your car in, you go to the dentist, you get your checkup from your regular doctor, your GP, same thing. Just go get that done. If they find something, they'll usually take care of it, and then you'll be done with it.
But like,
not that big a deal.
They find cancer so early, and then my tiny polyps is going to get tested too.
Oh, that's good.
To make sure, because some of them are cancerous, some of them aren't, but they just try to get rid of it anyway. But I'm here to tell the tale, hours later. Yeah.
I mean, the fact that like you can go in today, they found a little tiny thing, they get rid of it, they're going to test it, and now you know. Yeah. You won't be going on like, I don't fucking know, maybe I do have something. Like, and again, if you waited 5 more years, who knows what that could have happened? Yeah. Anything's possible. So yeah. I think it's worth doing, and I'm sorry you had to go through all that, but in the end, it was worth it.
You know what? In the end, my end is better for it.
Yes. In the end, the end wins.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
But then I had my wonderful friend Kat picked me up, and the headache that I had all morning, and I was so foggy. And then I like fell asleep for a couple hours and woke up and tried to make more food. And as I'm making food, my heartburn felt awful, and I was like, maybe I'm just so hungry. And so I started eating, and it got worse, and I felt nauseous, and my head was pounding, and I took a Tylenol, and I was just like, oh my, I think it's the anesthesia, because I've had anesthesia before where I had like almost like a hangover feeling from it. So, but the heartburn, I had to pop 2 Tums and just like literally lie there like, please go away, go away.
That sucks.
But I think my stomach was just so empty.
Oh my God. I forgot. I got something like really good after.
What did you eat?
I think I got like, you know what it was? We went to, there's a place over near us that makes this insane breakfast sandwich.
Ooh.
It's on this Portuguese bread. It is so fucking good. And that was my little like, because we took the ferry back and just walked home from there. And it was like the most amazing thing to like welcome me back. Because I mean, again, like you're up so early. I was the first procedure. So it was like 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah, same
home,
here.
by the time I got home, it was like, I think like 10 in the morning still. So I was like, I'm getting breakfast. Fuck it. But that sucks though. I bet you, it probably was the
Anesthesia. Yeah, I mean, I ate the minute I got home, but I had like my normal breakfast of just like fruit with avocado toast, but on a sweet potato instead of bread. And I even had coffee, and I still passed out for 2 hours. I was like, well, that coffee didn't work.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, it's
My
like,
body was just exhausted.
I don't know about you, but I barely got any sleep like the night before. And like, by the time you get up, you're like, it's like so early in the morning, and I feel like I just stopped shitting at 1. So what? Maybe 3 hours of sleep, if that. Like good sleep anyway. So.
And shitty sleep, not good sleep.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're just thinking about the day. And I took the train with no diaper, no backup plan. I was like, I didn't even think about that. I was like, oh my God, what if at that point there was nothing left in me at that point, but still.
Well, I only was so insanely nervous because of chugging all those laxatives at 1 in the morning.
Yeah, that would have made, I would have done the same thing. That's dicey.
Yeah. But I just was following the Happy Colon Foods protocol.
It's so weird. Like, what's interesting, like, I mean, I don't know. Like my mind, I definitely had the more toxic industrial strength. Get your shit out, liquids.
Yeah.
But look, you made it through it. You made it through on the other side. We found out some things. You had a little baby polyp. They tested it.
That's no longer there.
It's no longer there. So with the tweezers, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
They had to laser anything
and they
off.
were like, we use a pediatric camera. And I was like, that's awesome that even like the camera's so tiny that it goes in little kids, but also can go into my huge human body, adult size body. And then the fact that they can bring the camera in, and it has tweezers, and it has a cauterizer on it. Like, it's amazing, the technology.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy. Can you imagine doing that shit like in the 70s? You'd have a Band-Aid in your inside you.
They probably did like nothing.
Yeah,
like you had like a VCR camera up your head.
The guy would be smoking, but like, it's okay, you'll be fine. I've seen worse. Okay, well, doc says it's gonna be good, so okay, cool. Yeah, thankfully this is the time that, like, don't ever listen to anybody say that, oh, this decade was the best. No, right now is the best. Everything like up at this particular moment, it might suck a little bit in terms of what's going on in the world, but technology wise,
when it comes to medical technology,
because of medical stuff, it is the best time right now.
Yeah, and 20 years from now, it's going to even be better. Yeah,
each day is the best day.
Yeah.
So
the advancements in medical everything is like a godsend.
Like the stuff they
for those who believe in God.
The stuff they could do in a hospital now it's remarkable.
Yeah,
that would be like you'd have this like a giant fucking like machete type scar on your body is now like a small little slit.
Oh yeah,
it's like nothing.
Totally.
So
and the room that they even rolled me in on to do the procedure seemed like almost like a hallway. It didn't even seem like a medical room.
Oh
I was
God.
like, wait, and there was like a door on the other side. I was like, is this the right room?
Wow.
Like, I feel like this is a connecting room to something else.
My room could like launch a space station in there or something. Cause like, it was just really big, but there was like just equipment everywhere. And then there's like a
this
million
was
people.
small.
Yeah, mine was like,
This was small with a lot of equipment on either wall, but then a doorway on the other side, and the nurse came through, and I was like, wait, is this the right room? And then they were like, here, we're gonna start the propofol, and I was like, oh, it's happening.
wow. My room was like pretty big, but everybody was like concentrated in this one area, but there was like shit. I mean, maybe
Everywhere.
there wasn't the normal room they do it in, but I was like, okay, this seems like a lot of space for what we're doing.
Yeah.
But they
And
did
I
that
asked the
giant
nurse,
TV
I was
too.
like, so how many colonoscopies do you guys do a day? And he said 60.
wow, that's crazy. That's a lot.
Like, bam, bam. I mean,
Yeah.
it must be like in and out, in and out, in
Yeah.
and out. And I think I was in there for maybe 15 minutes. So it's like
Yeah.
the turnover.
I mean, they could probably do their fucking eyes closed at this point.
yeah. Yeah.
Which is like, that's the thing. It's like, especially if you're gonna have surgery or any kind of like thing where they're gonna put you out. Like, if you can get in that first spot, it's the best, because the second there's like anything, you get fucked. If you're the last surgery of the day, oh my god, you might as well just be like, come back tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. They were like, what time do you want to do? I was like, get it over
Yeah.
with. I wanted to be first also because I was like, if I have to wake up in the morning
Mm-hmm.
and like have any kind of a morning and be sitting there starving and exhausted, I'm going to be miserable. So
Oh,
just
yeah.
get it over with.
Oh yeah, I was like, just book me as fast as you possibly can and get me
Yeah,
in
let's-
as, like, just whatever. I can't
Yeah,
be
they
here that
even-
long.
They told me to have my friend pick me up at 9 and they actually were done with me by 8:30.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So they were like
pretty
ready
quick.
to, they were like, we called her, she's close. And I was like, okay, cool. I mean, like, I can wait here.
That's
It's not
another
a
thing.
problem.
When you wake up too, that's the only annoying thing about any kind of procedure. Yeah, they're like, just tell them to be at this time, and then like, where's your person at? It's, well, I'm here early. What the? It's not 9 o'clock yet, so
Yeah.
they're not here.
Give
Of
them a
course.
window
Yeah.
then. Don't say 9 if you really want them to come at 8:30.
And go, we called. I was like, why are you asking me then? Because they said,
Yeah.
they said to me, we called your wife. I'm like, well, okay, then she's on her way. I don't know. Like, and she
Yeah,
was-
and my thing was also in a basement. I had 0 cell phone service.
shit.
So I couldn't even like text her to say, and they were like, do you want your phone? And I'm like, to do what on?
Yeah.
To tell the time? Like,
I was just like
yeah.
so out of it. I woke up. I'm like, what? Okay, and then they're like, okay, we called your wife. She's running a little behind. I'm like, all right, well, she'll be here.
yeah.
Like, okay, like you can kick me out if you want. I don't know what to tell you. Clearly, I
Well,
can't
they-
leave, but I'm supposed to leave. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. They want you to have some, like, because she had to sign me out to pick me up. I don't know if Tiny had to sign you out.
I can't remember. Probably.
But like somebody had to sign you out that you were picked up properly. So it's like, well, yeah, I get it. You want to sign the person out, but you told them 9, it's 8:30. Well, let me just rest
Wait,
for a little
exactly.
bit.
No, I think when she got there, I just changed. I was already changed. She got
Yeah,
there.
same.
I think I just left. I don't think there was anything aside from me signing like another iPad at the end, like just about the procedure. But and we just walked out, and I was like, okay, what the fuck was that all about? I mean, like, I get that he wanted someone to pick me up, but I didn't need it. But secondly, I'm like, okay, it's gonna be fine. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna just be sitting here for 5 hours.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I guess they're doing 60 procedures a day. They're like, we need this
It's
space.
insane.
We need this space in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So, oh my god,
So
that's crazy.
fast.
Wow. Well, you did the thing. You did the thing.
I did it.
And you lived to tell the tale.
Yeah. And right now I'm farting like crazy sitting and
really?
talking to you. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my God. Gas keeps coming out of me.
Fuck. Our bodies
I
have
don't-
totally different reactions.
I don't know if you did anything besides eat that huge breakfast sandwich afterwards, after your colonoscopy, but like because I know my insides, I got those BioK shots, which are like hardcore acidophilus shots. So that was the first thing I put in my body when I got home. So I'm putting like good acidophilus back
I
in.
put just a greasy sandwich in my fucking. It was delicious.
I bought a 6-pack of them and they're not cheap, but I'm just like, I want my system to go back to normal
Right.
as quickly as possible. And so right before I ate lunch, I chugged another one of them and I'm planning on I'll do one more of them tonight and then the other 3 tomorrow just to like get some good acidophilus
Oh, wow.
back into my system.
I did none of that. I just ate that sandwich, took a nap, and I probably took a big shit after that.
Yeah,
I was
Happy
like,
Colon
back- I'm
Foods
back.
in their pamphlet, they even say like order your probiotics. And I was like, well, it's too late now.
Yeah.
I just looked at the pamphlet. It's like you need the probiotics right when you're empty.
my
But I had
God.
already bought them
Yeah,
a couple
yeah.
days ago, so it's
Nice,
fine.
that's smart. I did not do
Yeah.
that. I was like, I want this. I was like that point too. You're so fucking hungry. At least I was like, I need to eat something like solid.
Yeah.
And it's just tasty.
Yeah, my friend Kat got a big greasy breakfast sandwich and she was like, oh, I'm dying for a breakfast. And I was like, they make really good ones on the corner of my apartment. And she was like, oh my God, this is delicious. And she's like, what are you going to eat? And I was like, avocado toast and fruit.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
I got to get it back on my normal.
I celebrated. I was like, yes. It's over. Oh my God.
Unless somebody's going to make me some gluten-free waffles, I'm just going to eat my normal.
Yeah. Well, that was awesome. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for doing it. Glad everything turned out okay. And if you're listening to this again, like I said before, just schedule your colonoscopy. If you're the age of 45 and above, just do it.
Talk to your doctor and look into Happy Colon Foods.
Yeah.
My little savior.
Episode 193. So you can hear all about it with Dr. John.
Yeah.
Dr. Jeff.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It was really great to have that as an easier prep, but still the prep was no fun.
Yeah. Well, there's some downsides, but like you said, the pros far outweigh the cons.
Yeah.
So just do it. Don't be a baby. Get it done. It could possibly save your life.
Dave and I both know people who are suffering with colon cancer right now. And one of my friend, he's in his 50s and never had a colonoscopy. And so it's like he could have maybe caught it early.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like he should have, he could have, should have, would have. I'm just saying like we do these things for a reason, people. We don't do them just for shits and giggles. We literally do it. Yeah, we do it for we do it for the shits, not the giggles.
Exactly.
But we do it for our health. And there's so few things out there where you can completely prevent cancer, and this is one of them.
Exactly. And with that, thanks for laughing and learning everything but with us.
And happy pooping, everybody. Go get a colonoscopy or you're 45 and over and enjoy that.
For more info, go to heypoopypodcast.com or email us at heypoopypodcast@gmail.com. You can send in show ideas, guest requests. Check us out on Twitter at heypoopy, Instagram at heypoopypodcast, TikTok, heypoopypodcast, and our awesome new Facebook fan page. Go check it out at heypoopypodcast. We're also on Discord at heypoopydumps, or you can contact us at our new awesome hotline, 203-998-5579.
Hey Poopy Podcast is brought to you by Perfect for Entertainment. Produced by Dave and Ellen. Edited by Dave. Executive producer Stormy Leather. Theme song by Jordan Perlson. Hey Poopy!